Hi, I'm Erin Atlanta Argan, and this is the Excuse Me podcast. Some of you might have seen me on Instagram or TikTok chasing people down the street shouting, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question about art?" The question that follows is simple, but no two answers are ever the same. If you could own any work of art in the world, what would it be and why? Today I'm absolutely delighted to be speaking with photographer Charles Moriarty. Born in Dublin, Charles moved to London at 18 and began working as a photographer in the music industry. He shot the album cover for Amy Winehouse's Frank in 2003, and it's a really candid and coy image that's really evocative of the connection that they shared as friends. Beyond Amy, Charles has also worked with institutions and magazines across TATE, Vice, Diesel, Highsnobiety, Phoenix Magazine, to name just a few. He's published 3 books containing his photographic projects. Before Frank, dedicated to his intimate portraiture of Amy Winehouse, X, which captures the last decade of his work photographing men, and his upcoming release Brock, which I am so excited for, and documents 4 years of photographs of actor and bodybuilder Brock Yurich, some of which you can already see on Charles's Instagram. This year, Charles has also begun co-hosting The Decisive Moment, a podcast dedicated to the multifaceted world of photography, alongside Carrie Carnier of Iconic Images Gallery. Charles also appeared on our social series last year when we were at Photo London, and he picked a Francis Bacon, the same one that he's picked in his collection of 5. So I'm really excited to see what else he's going to bring to the table today. Perfect. Great way to start.
Get out of the picture.
Yeah. Well, it's so nice to have you here, Charles. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Good.
It's a nice sunny day in London.
Yeah, it's lovely. I know that you've got a book coming out very soon, and I wondered if we could just start by talking about Brock. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen some of the photographs that you've produced with him, and they are stunning.
Yeah, it's been I guess it's been a 4-year journey with him. We started taking photographs in 2021. And initially I didn't think anything more of it than it was a quick shoot that happened in New York. There was 2 little shoots that happened in New York, and really after that I sort of moved forward, and Brock and I would keep in touch, and then we shot again in 2024 in London. And that sort of work went quite viral online.
Yeah.
And then he'd been working to get a film made for a long time. And I kind of saw that journey coming towards a climax. And I was like, okay, well, if I can put these together and then do this. And the Brock it's the artist's journey. It's a story about someone who is chasing their dreams, and thankfully, I was there to sort of see them come true. So it starts in New York, and then it goes to London, and then it goes to Ohio when he's filming this script that he's written, and he's the lead.
Yeah.
And then it finishes up in Los Angeles. And there's a little bit of a fun twist in the middle, I'll say. But it was very fun to, I guess, combine essentially my first book, which was with Amy, which was a monograph all about one subject based on 2 shoots in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
But then the book after, which was X, which focused on LGBT, particularly gay guys. Well, actually, I guess it's more my own intimate experience with men, because it's not all gay. It's straight, family, all sorts of people are in there. I guess it was a combination of both of those books in a sense.
Yeah.
Over a longer period, looking at a longer journey. And yeah, it's really been, I guess, quite at times difficult, but a lot of fun. And it's one of those things, sometimes I'm a big fan of printing stuff out and throwing them on the table. And because when I came back from LA in June, I think, and really didn't know what I had.
So you don't go in with like understanding what the project's maybe going to look like and amount to.
I have an idea,
Yeah.
but I'm essentially following my gut and my instinct, and with that, sort of trying to get trying to get as much photography, as much imagery as I can that I think will fit into that sort of rough structure that I have. But at the same time, I guess I didn't understand the overall story that I was going to tell until I sat down in, I think, the end of July, early August, and was able to look at all the imagery and really look at what was at the heart of the book.
Yeah.
I talk about it in the introduction. It's basically, I was sort of sat at work one day and the song from Cinderella came into my head, which is a dream is a wish your heart makes. And I just thought that, that's what this book is about.
Yeah.
This is about someone who is manifesting their dreams. And what I wanted to do was to try and basically tell it from that perspective. And obviously there's a degree of the narrative is quite lateral, like it is going through the time, but it breaks a little bit. But there's only so much movement I had. But then there was lots of things I could play with, and I think when people see the book, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have a lot of creative freedom in projects like that? Like, obviously, I've got this here, which is one of my favorite albums, and I met you, and then I found out that you did this afterwards. But yeah, do you like? With the book, how did you pick which works were going to be included?
Although that's not me.
That's not.
Just the cover. Yeah. And there's a whole story to that. I mean, this was a lot of fun. I was 21. I was not a photographer. I had no experience. I used to take my camera out and photograph my friends when we'd go clubbing. 93.
So did you know each other before?
No, we met that day.
Yeah.
And we had a mutual friend, Tyler James, and Tyler asked me if I could do some photographs. We shot one roll of film off of Brick Lane. I was sort of aiming for golden hour. Didn't really get golden hour, but we got sort of, I guess, end of day, early night, twilighty period. And I didn't really think very much of it. Yeah. I knew when I took that photograph that I had a good photograph.
Yeah.
But it's not like you could see anything. And I just had one roll of film and I gave it to Amy. And because she basically what she wanted was a test.
Yeah.
For the record label, because I think she'd worked with other photographers hired by the label and she hated everything.
Yeah.
I think she didn't want to fall into the sort of cookie cutter female vocal pop artist that was out at that time, like Katie Melua, Dido, Joss Stone. She wanted to have something that was authentic to her, and that was a word that came up a lot with her when I spoke with her first, was authenticity. Yeah, and only having just met her, thankfully we were able to vibe very quickly, and she was able to just be herself, and that was what was key. Yeah, I didn't have to work that hard anymore. Once we got to this point, before this, the photos are a little awkward or rigid, and once this happened, it was like, okay, off we go. Yeah. And but we only shot one roll of film, and then we were supposed to shoot the inlay, which was supposed to be at her home in Camden, which is what happened, but it happened with another photographer because I was in New York when they wanted me to do it. Yeah, and fate. Yeah, well, at the same time though, we did get to then shoot in New York for a 24-hour period. Everything went wrong. Really? It was like July, and what they call a nor'easter storm came in, and it was like not before mobile phones where you check the weather. Yeah. And I just presumed it was going to be a nice sunny evening in New York in July, and it rained for 7 hours solid. Lost all our location spots, and the work was so different from what we'd intended in London, and it had like, I think it was slightly removed from who she was at that point. That it just didn't fit. Yeah. But they took the idea and had another photographer do it while I think I was still in New York. Yeah. And they came out beautifully as well. So she did a great job. Yeah. But when those are the only times that we shot, but they were beautiful, and There's one image is down in the National Portrait Gallery, which
Is that the one with the lipstick with the lightning bolt earring? Yeah, it's
exactly.
another one of my favourites
Yeah.
of her. Yeah, and there's also the washing machine one.
The washing machine, putting the guitar in the washing machine. I was like, be rock and roll, Amy. Put that guitar in there.
And she was.
Well, I think we were also totally naive.
Yeah.
Neither of us had a clue what we were doing. I was just really reaching at this stage because we'd lost all the locations.
Yeah.
I was literally trying to find spots in the building where we could do whatever we could do. And yeah, so it was, I think it was also as well, when you're in a foreign city, things like the laundrette, which in America, like there are these enormous machines, and it always has like this oversized sort of feeling to it. And I think kind of just worked. But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. And then was that the moment that catapulted your career, would you say? And then you were being booked up a lot more, or what was the journey?
I don't know when my I don't know if it ever catapulted. I think what that moment did for me is that it took me from, I'd been working in film before that, and it took me from going to find a running job on a set somewhere to taking my camera and photographing at events instead. Yeah. And so I decided to go down that stills route, and then, you know, I shot a few different bands and all the rest. And but at the same time, then I also stepped into medical photography, which is a whole other end.
About that as well. How did you get into that? And you still do it now?
I still do it now. Yeah, I mean, so I'm an NHS medical photographer. I work in eyes, essentially. Yeah. Or as they call it, medical imaging now. The photography element, well, because we used to process everything. There used to be a whole film, dark room, processing. Wow. And you'd flip around a roll of 36 as quick as you could, so the doctors could have a look at the images that day. And now, obviously, it's all instant. Yeah. But yeah, it was, my father's an eye surgeon, and I didn't follow him, but I did always have a keen interest in medicine. And I was home in Ireland for a while when I was 24, and I needed a job, and went in and had a chat with the medical photographer, and I was like, if you teach me how to do this, I'll work for you for 3 months for free. Yeah. And then help me get a job. And so that was how it started. Wow. And then I've done it on and off over the years. And I didn't really do it through my 30s. I just focused on taking photographs. But then COVID happened, and I went back into doing medicine again. But,
yeah. Wow. And when was the first time that you picked up a camera, or the moment you knew this is what I want to be doing?
I mean, I definitely stole my dad's camera in my teenage years, but didn't really know what I was doing with it. And I was very trial and error. And I certainly was, unfortunately, where I went to school, if you were doing an art subject, you had to choose between music and art. Yeah. And I was already doing an instrument. So I was in music, and I wasn't able to access the knowledge of the art teacher in terms of film. I did meet with him sometimes outside of class and stuff. Just about like developing your film and all the rest. So I essentially would just throw myself in the dark room and do trial and error and print. And I'm not very well, but at least gave it a whirl. Yeah. And it really was something that was completely a hobby until Miss Winehouse came along. Yeah. And I mean, I think it was as well, you know, I was a little shy when I was younger. Yeah. And it was just a means of sort of being in the room, but not in the room, and having I guess, an instrument between me and whatever was going on.
Yeah, do you think that ethos has carried through with you, or do you think you're a lot more confident with it now, and the relationship you have with your sitters?
I think, I think I found the confidence somewhere along the lines, but I think, people who meet me now, they're like, you were never shy.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it either.
So, you know, I get it. But no, I definitely was a bit of a shy boy back in the day. Yeah. Now I guess I'm more confident in what I'm doing,
and you've obviously got your own podcast as well now with Carrie Parley.
As Carrie and I said, we better be professional now. But that's fun, yeah. So the Carrie Kenya, obviously in W Agency, and creative director at Iconic Images, and I set up a podcast called The Decisive Moment,
Yeah.
which the third episode just came out.
Yeah, which is a fab listen, by the way.
Yeah, please listen. Have a listen. We need the listeners. It's been great. I mean, I think I did a book a few years ago called Photographers on the Art of Photography. And it was when I was editing it during COVID, I was like, this should be a podcast.
Yeah.
Why did I do a book? I could have just recorded all these and I wouldn't be editing like this. It's just great to sit down and talk with all sorts of different people within the industry, from tastemakers to photographers to subjects to agents to editors, and just get all the different perspectives about image making, where photography is going. You know, we're on the edge of AI insanity. At what point do we as image makers have to, so I feel, almost go back to film in a way, in order to keep it out of that digitized? I mean, I understand it in terms of advertising and certain things, but I think when it's going to come down to the art world, it's difficult unless you are working. I mean, there was a show this year at Photo London where someone was exhibiting purely work that was AI generated. Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm all up for an adventure. Yeah. But
exploring a new medium,
new medium, of course.
Is. Yeah.
I just, it's not for me. I'm sure it'll have its uses at points. Yeah. And certainly, as you'll know, editing a podcast, it's all very, it's all very helpful.
Using it as an assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm hoping after Brock comes out, I'm planning to shoot everything on Friend of the Next Book on a 6.7. I want to do everything film, and I
think everyone in the creative industry and more broadly has just got AI fatigue at the moment. I feel that we do a lot of writing here, and just the complete fatigue of the way that it sounds, the way that it interacts, and
it's that, but it's also
having your own voice.
I mean, what was scary was watching. They just announced the President of Ireland, Catherine Connolly, won, and someone in the opposition had put out an AI created video of her resigning from the race, and it was just like, and it was like, if someone hadn't told me that this was AI, I would have not thought about it, because I wouldn't have taken the time to look at it in great detail. Yeah, I'd have just listened and
to these deep fakes. Yeah,
taking it for reality, which is scary.
Yeah,
because if I'm thinking that way, then most people are probably thinking that way.
Yeah, definitely, especially as a trained photographer. So you would.
Yeah. Well, there was that moment in a couple of years ago at the Sony Photography Awards. Yeah. Where the winner was created by AI, and he didn't tell anyone until he got the award, and he was like,
wow.
Not a great moment for the photography world.
Well, we should probably get onto the topic of why we're here today.
Let's go.
We actually already interviewed you.
We did.
About a year ago. What art fair was that? Photo London?
That was a Photo London.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a shorter one, though.
Yeah, a much shorter one. But today we're here to talk about your dream collection of 5 artworks. I mean, it's going to get deep. It's going to be intense.
When you say dream, I mean, I think I chose 5 works based on works that have had a great effect on me and moved me. I don't necessarily know if I'd have them up in the house. Yeah. Some of them, I'd definitely have a few of them up in the house. Certainly not all in the same room. I basically went for artworks that have packed a punch for me personally. Yeah. I thought that would be fun to talk about.
And they definitely do pack a punch after having seen them already. Obviously, the question itself boils down to wanting to own works of art. What does the concept of owning an artwork mean to you?
I think you can think about it from so many different angles. It really depends on how you think about art. For me, art is about emotion. It's about being moved. It's about seeing something on a regular basis and it still being able to affect you in that continuous way. And there's such power in that. to be able to create something that immediately connects with someone's emotional state and maybe brings them to a place of clarity or of hope or despair.
Yeah.
You know, that it basically something that moves you. And obviously there's the other side, which is investment.
Yeah.
I also, but I do believe, like, if you're going to have a piece of artwork on your wall, it better move you.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't,
what's the point of having it?
Like, you don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
If it's just for the money's sake, the best is if you can blend the two.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I think anyone who's putting anything on their wall, go for the emotion. Because even if it's something that you, like, I was in the States and I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was in a junk shop and they had this incredible little, I'm a Charlie Brown type as a kid. I had a million Snoopy bears. And I found this beautiful porcelain Charlie Brown from the 60s.
Amazing.
And he'd been hand painted blue instead of yellow, and he had these little blue eyes. And I just was like, that needs to come home with me.
Yeah,
and
gotta have it.
It sits on, the shelf, and I love it, and I love looking at it. It brings me back to my childhood. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I think art has that incredible capacity for nostalgia. Same as food. Like,
Yeah.
the senses are being sort of smothered by, something like that.
And I think the ability, if you own something, to share in that with other people and have a dialogue around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So your first work that you've chosen is The Death of Chatterton by Henry Wallace.
Yes.
Which is...
It's a beauty.
A beauty. And so moving, if we're going to talk about works on the wall that...
I mean, yeah.
Power over you.
One of the first pieces that I found in London that I really connected with. Painted by Wallace in the 1850s.
Yeah.
Of Chatterton, who had killed himself with arsenic in the 1750s. He was a poet, and he killed himself at 17. And in the painting, the model was actually another poet and novelist. I can't remember his name. And he's wearing these great purple pants. And it's sort of, I think it's chiaroscuro, probably the style of painting.
Yeah.
The technique. And it's just kind of draws you in. It's kind of sad but magical, very thought-provoking. And I guess at the time, Chatterton killed himself basically because he couldn't afford to eat, in a sense.
Yeah.
He was being paid very badly by...
Which is so awful as a 17-year-old as well.
Well, I mean, I guess everyone was... By the age of 13, you were fully grown back then.
Yeah.
But I mean, because he couldn't afford to eat, and he was being published, but he wasn't being paid properly. And so rather than, I think, just maybe change career, he really sort of... I think he just did that thing where he couldn't see a way out and decided to just end it. But I think Henry Wallace was then making a comment again on painters being paid badly.
Yeah.
And I think that follows through. And it's beautifully. St. Paul's is in the background through the window, which would have been pretty accurate for where he actually died in London.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. It's not a huge piece, but it's when I moved to London at 18, I think I saw it that first year when I was roaming every museum as I could.
Yeah.
And it just struck me.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Is it in the Tate Britain now, isn't it?
It's in the Tate Britain. Yeah. It was away for a while. I think it had been given to another museum. But I think it's back. Yeah.
Of all the pre-Raphaelites work, I just think that that's so different as well. It's less escapist into another world.
And it was Henry Wallace's first piece that he then sold. It was in the summer exhibition at the Royal Academy in 1856.
Yeah.
And then
I wonder what they made of it at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was loved. It was one of those pieces. It was bought by someone who then sold the licensing rights for the image because it was so loved to be made into all sorts of like miniatures. So I think it could be like prints were made. I think it was loved by many when it was seen.
Yeah, and I suppose like for something that had happened not too far in the past as well.
Yeah,
with Chatterton.
It was only. I mean, he's from the Romantics. I actually don't know his work very well.
Yeah, me
Which
neither.
is terrible,
Me
really.
neither.
I should go once after this. I should go and read something. But
Yeah. And there is something quite photographic about it as well.
there's that. Well, and
Yeah.
then I did use it as inspiration.
Really?
Well, I was at the end of my first year, and my teachers weren't particularly happy with me, and they're like, "You need to do some work to show us your your game." And so I made a triptych of the 3 moments before his death, and sort of I mean, I'd never show it to anyone now, but it was fun to do it, and my tutors found it humorous.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a favorite of mine.
I feel like him as a subject, though, and the way that like that image is portrayed feels so different to the subjects of your own photography. So I wonder if that plays into why you chose it, because I feel like in your work, your portraits, everybody feels so empowered and embodied, and this feels like the opposite.
I never know how to think about my portraits,
Yeah.
but then that's for other people to decide. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess in this, Mr. Chatterton's not with us anymore, so it's very hard to imbue him with anything other than his death, really.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the romanticism is in the paint. It's in the purple pants. It's in the color of his hair.
Yeah.
The light coming through the window. It is slightly heavenly looking. He's also almost Pieta-like in his posing of the body. So I guess rather than it being in the subject's face, it's within the space. And I guess there is a reach for the heavenly heights, I guess, and St. Paul's obviously there in the background.
Yeah.
So there is
and that light pouring through what's actually a very dark and somber
moment,
setting,
but I guess it's sort of maybe he's gone to a happier place.
Yeah.
You know.
And your second work, we take a bit of a darker turn still to Saturn Devouring His Son by Goya.
Yeah.
And why on earth have you picked this one?
It's, the first time I saw it, I was in Madrid at the, gosh, I can't remember the name of the museum now. It's in Madrid at the Prado.
Yeah.
And it's originally, he painted murals in his house, which was just outside of Madrid, and they're called the Black Paintings. They were moved onto a canvas. God, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
It was off of plaster onto canvas,
Wow.
and then moved to the museum by the person who bought the house. I think it was a baron or something. And the period of time where he lived there, I think it was after the Spanish Inquisition. There was basically a lot of turmoil within Europe. There was the Napoleonic Wars. There was the Spanish Inquisition. Basically, from all the various powers, there was destruction, and I think the people of these countries were having basically a very difficult time. There's even a question mark whether it is Saturn.
Yeah.
He had not titled any of these works.
Well, no, if they were just painted in the house, yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
And can you imagine what they must have looked like altogether?
I can't imagine sitting in the dining room
Yeah.
with Saturn eating his son in the background. But I do, like, I remember seeing it and just being both shocked, but also sort of enthralled by it. I also am a huge fan of the myths.
Yeah.
And obviously Saturn is Kronos.
Yeah.
So it's the Roman version of the Greek. And based on the prophecy that his son would kick him off his throne from Gaia. And of course his wife, I think it was Jupiter, of course, sneaks one of his kids out, who eventually, obviously, it's like a self-destructive prophecy.
Yeah.
You eat your own children, and then of course someone's going to get away and destroy you. But I think I don't know why it moved me so much, but it always did, and it just it's so intense.
Yeah, the eyes are just
The eyes,
horrific.
the half-eaten body in its arms, and God knows what it actually looked like when he originally painted. I'm sure it's lost quite a bit of its
I
detail.
wonder how much was lost when they were transferring it onto canvas. Like you said, I'd love to have seen how they did it.
So it was 50 years between when he painted it and when it was moved.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of the color was lost. I mean, they're called the black paintings, but I wonder if they were quite a bit brighter when he originally did them. But I guess maybe they're more the black paintings because of what the depiction of the time.
Yeah.
Because the other works aren't necessarily myth-like.
No.
The other works tend to be like they're of the peasants.
Yeah.
They're of people fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
the other one, the drowning dog as well, which is
the dog.
Yeah.
I do love that though.
Yeah. Those white eyes just poking out of it.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It's just a simple image, but pulls at the heartstrings.
Yeah. But why this particular one of all of them?
I don't know. Maybe there's a little dark person inside me. Not a dark person, but I think maybe I understand that maybe the darker side of life is, something that's there, and I guess pulls you in.
It's also interesting as it's meant to be his son, because to me it's always looked like a woman's figure.
Yeah, well, there's been question
that
it wasn't Saturn at all, that possibly it was about him and his lover, and that it possibly could have been a woman. There's multiple theories. There's also a theory that he originally had an erect penis, and that it was lost in moving. So we can't, unfortunately, talk to Goya.
No.
Which it would be great to get clarification from him, but I think you just have to accept it for what it is, and not even maybe think that it is Saturn, and just, I mean, it just strikes me.
Yeah, and just the
so
darkness
heavily.
that it evokes. Yeah, I completely agree. And also, even if you don't have that darkness within you that can resonate with something, obviously we all have that within us.
Well, I think it's the light that resonates with the dark.
Yeah,
It's the opposing force to it, and I think maybe that's why it strikes so hard.
You haven't really produced in your own body of work anything
quite so dark.
It's quite so dark. No, and would you ever?
I think the older I get, the more I'm willing to start going down into. Certainly at the moment, I mean, we are at a time of a lot of political strife, war. It seems as an artist, I think it's probably important to try and reflect that in your own way.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do that within my own practice. I mean, essentially, the next book I kind of want to do is just still lives. I'm trying to maybe see how I can put all of that into objects and nature more than using subjects.
Yeah.
But I think I mean, I'm definitely willing to go down those paths.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing those.
No pressure.
So what would you do with those two so far, as they are so dark? What are we doing with them?
Well, I don't see Death of Chatterton as dark.
Yeah.
I don't think of it like that.
Ah, okay.
I don't see it as I know it's the depiction of something, a dark moment.
Yeah.
But I don't I find the image quite beautiful to look at. I'd very happily put that anywhere in the house, really.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But I see it as a romanticizing of a moment, but also quite beautiful and in its sorrow. And it's yeah, there's a truth about it that's kind of quite beautiful, but sad as well, you know.
Yeah.
But the Goya is very hard to. I don't know if I could see that on a regular basis.
No, I can imagine it being behind curtains almost, and then it's only revealed to you when you're in a particular headspace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely something. I think it is something that really is best probably seen in the museum, probably with the other works from the
Yeah.
world. I think it needs that context, and on its own, it's sort of just this very wild, angry. But also the thing that I look at it, and then I look at his eyes, and actually I see fear in those eyes.
Yeah.
There is terror in his action, but his eyes often to me seem like he is scared. And I guess there is this, what he's doing is he's sort of fighting for his seat, but at the same time, I guess when you're doing it by eating your own children, there's the madness that must come from that.
Yeah.
So there's like that terror and madness in his eyes, which is, pretty intense to look at.
And then for your third, we have the Francis Bacon. Is this the one that you chose
Same one.
originally? Yeah, which is Landscape near Malabata, Tangier, 63. And I love this one. I feel like it's so different to the rest of his work.
It is quite different. It's definitely got a lightness to it. It relates to his lover, Peter Lacey, who died in Tangier the year before. And they had a very dark relationship.
Yeah.
I think Lacey threw him out of a window several times.
I wonder how they met, because he was a fighter pilot, wasn't he?
I don't know a huge amount about Lacey.
Yeah.
No idea, actually. He's not. I've been more interested in. I mean, I understand the painting as a what's the word? As a reaction to the loss of his lover.
Yeah.
I think he died of alcoholism, basically, at the age of 46 or something, which is really young. And it sort of has this. Apparently it's based on a landscape. I always thought it was based on some sort of a race track or something.
Yeah, it does look like that because it's got this spinning momentum.
Circular, but he loved a good circle, didn't he?
Yeah.
He loved his circle. Yeah. And obviously it's got his sort of the orangey red that he loved as well. But then there's also like this, there's just a lot of movement to it, and it's really beautiful and captivating to look at.
Yeah.
And it's so, there's not even the hint of a figure. There's maybe a little look of a figure, something is moving, but you really can't tell what. And I've just always felt quite transported by it.
Yeah.
Yes, for some reason I find it really powerful.
I agree. Also, I think maybe it's because of the picture plane being cut, and also it's like not part of a triptych, so you're just honed in on this one dizzying, intense moment as well.
And I mean, I guess because it's a reaction to Lacey's death, you have to I think about Bacon's state of mind when he was making it. And often, and he talks about when he paints, and so it's trying to find that space where he's able to see through whatever he's putting on the canvas to what it is.
Yeah.
And how sometimes, it works and sometimes it doesn't. And I guess grief can, in its own way, be quite a meditative space. So I wonder where he sat when he was making it, and it's both powerful and just arresting. I love to look at it.
Yeah,
it was incredible to see it at the Royal Academy a few years ago.
I've never seen it in person, so
it was part of the show that went on
there. Do you know where it's permanently housed?
It was bought through Christie's at auction for a mere 17 point something million.
Oh my gosh. So you might be able to get it at some point.
I have to make an awful lot of money. Marry up, they said, or something.
And hope that it comes back into an auction house at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anyone's... Roald Dahl used to own it.
Oh, really?
He did. Roald Dahl owned it, and he thought it was magnificent.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Quite a dark piece for...
Well, I don't know
Roald
if it's...
Dahl.
it's
Again, is it dark?
Is it
or
dark?
Is it just the way that I'm reading?
I mean, I understand some of Bacon's work is quite dark. I mean, the Pope ones particularly. I mean, they even freak me out.
Yeah.
But I also, I mean, I think part of the thing with Bacon is that the way he abstracted things could seem quite dark, but I just don't know if it necessarily is. I think it's just how he painted and
the way that he saw
things and figures and but that one in particular, I find it really quite beautiful.
I feel like in that one as well, you really see his, like, as you said, him dealing with his grief come through in the work. I just wonder how much do your emotions affect you when you're creating?
Particularly when I'm with the subject, it partly depends on how well I know the subject, how I know the subject. I always try and go into it's like a trance almost when I'm shooting, like where you're just very focused on a person and you try and find this middle ground where you're meeting each other in the middle with a truth almost. And essentially they're reflecting me back to myself as I'm talking to them. And that's what it is. It's like a transference of some sort. And how I photograph them is really a reflection on me more than them, essentially. I mean, it is a portrait of them, but I mean, so much of it depends on what you bring to the day.
Yeah.
Do you know? And also what it is. Like if a client has said, I need this, that's then what you're shooting.
That, yeah.
But if I'm shooting someone on my own time and who I have some sort of interest in, or I think might be good to fit into a larger project or whatever, then I have to bring my own intention to it.
Yeah.
And often, I almost nearly always start the same way when I'm doing portraits, and it's really simple table setup and just start chatting. And then we get to a place where things are able to just flow. And I don't try and overly curate things at that stage. Like I mean, I'll give a certain amount of direction, but I'm trying to see the person as they are. Yeah. Rather than, obviously, I'm then putting myself into it. It's a funny little merry-go-round. Yeah.
So work number 4.
Yeah.
We're shifting a little bit on something a little bit lighter.
Quite heavenly.
Yeah.
I'd say quite heavenly.
Very heavenly, I would say. And you are cheating as well.
I'm totally cheating.
But we're going to allow it. Because...
And they're big works to talk about. So my God. I mean, so it's the Botticelli rooms at the Uffizi in Firenze, Florence.
Yes. And
I mean, I cried. So it's called Stedel syndrome, which I was told about after. I think I sent a text to my auntie, who's an artist, and I was like, I can't stop crying. She's like, yeah, it's called Stedel syndrome, babe. I was like, okay, it's not just me.
No.
So, I think it was a mixture of seeing all these works in a room in person. Yeah. Which, because I'd studied art history and it was like, really seeing them up close, but also there was something quite magnificent being in the cradle of the Renaissance, which is Florence. Yeah. And then being in that room surrounded by, just the most incredible pieces of art, some of the most incredible pieces of art that have ever been made. Yeah. And you have the Birth of Venus, you have the Primavera, you have the Annunciation. Yeah. You have, there's the one with the Virgin and Child with the pomegranate, and I can't remember what it's called, and it's circle. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. And I was really lucky. I went when I was in November,
Yeah.
So it was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
And yeah, could just really take it in. And there's a few other pieces I think, but I can't remember the names. But yeah, really powerful stuff. And I mean, I think a lot of it, it's interesting because you've got the religious works and then you have the myth stuff, which I think was a lot of it was connected to one of the Medicis who was trying to bring around an older way of thinking, philosophically speaking. And I think that's where he was sort of trying to bring back in like the Greek myths and ideas and decided to do it through Botticelli and the art.
Yeah.
And I think they were friends as well. So pretty tight-knit little area of Florence back in the day.
Yeah. And why Botticelli? Of everyone that you've obviously learned about in art history.
And it's so hard because in that little group, you've got Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, and a whole bunch of others. Those are just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And the thing is, like, for some reason, I don't hugely connect with Da Vinci.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's because I've seen the Mona Lisa so many times that I don't even want to see it in person.
No, exactly.
I have no interest.
He's probably the most reproduced portrait.
Yeah,
of all time.
I mean, magnificent as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pieta is one of my favorite sculptures of all time.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But I don't know. I think I just love how it's so great when you can see it up close and it's painted on these wooden boards.
Yeah.
And they just have such life in them.
Yeah.
And he really managed to capture the feminine so beautifully.
Yeah.
Because often I look at other painters back then and they didn't quite get it as good. And, I mean, it's so magical to look at as well.
Yeah.
Both of both the Primavera and the Birth of Venus. And you've just got all these incredible, beautiful characters, and it just sort of transports you.
Yeah, and the way that he depicts flowers in those is what I always find so
beautiful.
Yeah,
and the size as well.
Yeah,
it's slightly larger than life, so you feel like you're in the room with it.
Yeah,
it's in there. It's a very special experience. So if you ever get a chance to go to the Uffizi, go to the Uffizi.
I've never been.
It was the most excited I've been going into a museum in a very long time.
Yeah,
it's like a giddy little schoolboy.
And there is something so special and meditative about being in those environments by yourself, like you said, or being one of the only ones there.
Yeah,
I had that experience. I was in Milan, where they have the Da Vinci cartoon for the Last Supper, and it's just in a dark lit room, and it's the Last Supper, but it's obviously the charcoal or black and white drawing of it. And I was in there on my own. And again, even though that work, not the Last Supper, sorry, what is it? The Aristotle.
Oh, the Raphael.
Sorry, I'm talking about the wrong thing.
The
Raphael
gymnasium.
Yes, I'm talking about the
wrong thing. I know exactly the one you mean, though.
Yeah, but again, that's something that I wouldn't say that I necessarily connect with that on a deeper level personally, but just being there and having learned about that again, doing art history, it does really move you.
I mean, I'd love to see the Last Supper.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's an incredible. Aside from just what it did in terms of perspective, how we paint, how people. I can't paint at all, sadly, but how painting evolved. It's an incredible artwork.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, it's a real contrast to the other works that you've chosen, having the Botticelli.
Well, a bit of heavenly light. You gotta mix it up.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if you had them, would you have them displayed in exactly the same way? Would you break up the collection?
Oh, it's very hard, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think I could covet those pieces of art.
Yeah.
I think they are to be seen by all. If they were in my possession, I'd have to create some sort of space where everyone could come and see them.
Yeah.
They belong to, I think, humanity, really. They're so special.
Yeah.
And I think, art is that thing that is able to connect with everyone from every part of the world, and I think those pieces do.
Yeah,
For all
they
sorts
really
of
do.
probably different reasons, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard pushed to find someone who doesn't know at least one of those works on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a few people who don't, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they're very universal. And then we'll go on to your final.
Which is
work.
pretty. Yeah, I know. Down another dark path. I'm sorry.
But this one is one that you actually already own,
Yeah.
and it's the Tulsa Book by Larry Clark, which
Yeah.
we can have a flick through. But
We can
tell us
have
about this, because I had never seen it until today.
This
You put it in.
is Tulsa by Larry Clark, published by Lustrum Press. Lustrum Press was Ralph Gibson's production press printing production house. Essentially, when Larry Clark tried to get this printed, at first no one would print it because of the content.
Yeah.
It essentially is a narrative that looks through the 60s, from 61 to the end of the 60s, at a group of friends in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of Larry's, that he photographs. And as he says in his first opening statements, you know, we were all amphetamine addicts. And once the needle goes in, it never truly comes out, I think is his line, which is pretty intense.
Yeah.
I think when I first found it, I was quite shocked by it, but also very moved at how intimate it is.
Yeah. When were you first exposed to the book and his work?
It's really hard to know. I mean, the first time I was exposed to Larry Clark's work was Kids,
Yeah.
the movie in the 90s, which, you know, by the last scene, it is literally like getting slapped in the face. It's incredible storytelling, but also very intense and honest. I guess maybe a little too honest at points. But I think I found Tulsa a little later. I can't remember exactly when. It might have been when I was studying photography. And yeah, there's some images in there that are just beautiful. There's a really beautiful photo of a dad lying down with his baby. So this is, I guess, halfway through this period. And some of them have gotten married. Some of them have had kids. And he's lying back on the bed with the baby and he's having a cigarette. And it's this beautiful shot from above. And the MEP actually had this incredible show. The MEP in Paris had an incredible show. I think it was called Love Stories, and it actually had the full series from the book up on the wall.
Wow.
Because I think there is love in here, and there is connection between people, and it's set around addiction, and it's from childhood through to late 20s, and it's a social commentary as much as it is a memory.
Yeah.
And I don't think it that sort of thing had never been shown before, that side of life. And I think it's interesting when you have the 50s, which is the white picket fence America, the nuclear family. And then this is obviously didn't come out until 71, but this is happening directly. It's like the pendulum swing from the 50s into the 60s. And what was going on behind closed doors was very different to what was being presented to the public. But I guess I love the brotherhood in it. There's kind of like there's just like a great collection of friends, clearly, who are addicted to amphetamines.
But again, as with all of your other choices, I think it's about seeing the light in the darkness. As well. Yeah.
I mean, I think it has dark subject matter in there, but there's also friendship, love, family, togetherness. Just it's in setting that people aren't used to seeing. And I think as well, like you have to, when it came out in 1971, seeing people naked together, like as it's depicted, and taking drugs like that was never seen before. It was a watershed moment in the photography world, that you could tell a story that way, that you could bring this world into public view. Because and this world still exists, and it's just not shown very often. And I loved like Philip Lorca de Corsia's Hustler's book, which I think tries to do something similar, where he took a grant and he went out to LA and he paid sex workers for their time to be photographed. And it's showing a part of the world that we maybe put under the carpet. Yeah. Because maybe we don't understand it, or maybe we just don't like it, or whatever. And I guess it put a face to what was behind closed doors for a long time, and for good or for bad, I think it was more just presenting it. And I know that Tulsa, Oklahoma was not very happy with Larry Clark for bringing this book out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's been they've refused to show it there. Yeah. As a series, but it's been shown all over the world now, and I think it's sort of part of photography's. Yeah. I don't know what you'd call it. History, I guess. Yeah.
It's interesting that of all of those works, you've chosen one photographer and not more. As you're a photographer,
I think it's so hard for me. There are far too many. I mean, I'm like, I sat down the other day, I was like, God, who do I leave out? Yeah. At least with this, I was able to put a little collection in. I just mentioned Philip Lorca de Corsia. I love that series. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Avedon and all that lot. Irving Penn. Yeah. I mean, there was an incredible show of Irving Penn's portraits in Germany, in Berlin recently, at the Helmut Lang. Yeah. And it was just, and the thing is, you see an Irving Penn portrait, and it's an Irving Penn portrait. It's like when you see a Brandt. Yeah. You can tell. Yeah. In the second, and it just speaks so well to them that you can identify immediately. Yeah. And it's, even if you've never seen it before, and it's how they paint with light. Yeah. How they present their subject. It was great in the Cecil Beaton show at the National Portrait Gallery. There's that portrait of him by Irving Penn, which is incredible. Yeah. I'd never seen that before, and I looked at it and I was like, that's Irving Penn. I just, magnificent. I mean, but it's like, once you decide, I'd love to choose, which pen am I going to choose?
I know.
There's so many of them. Yeah. But never mind the subjects, the still lives. You could go on and on. But I think photography it's hard to nail. I mean, it's even hard to nail. I mean, I've taken 5 works that mean something to me, because when I went through my own journey with art and discovering art, these are pieces that have affected me. Yeah. On a really,
and have stayed with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a good punch. Yeah. And I never forget seeing each of them for the first time. So it's special.
Wow. I think that's a great place to wrap up, I think. To be honest, art that packs a punch, and that's what your collection's all about.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.